excited. Our first guest writes, produces, directs, and stars in his own hit films. And last year, Forbes magazine named him one of the most successful people in Hollywood. Take a look.
His movies have earned over a staggering $450 million, making Tyler Perry one of the most powerful entertainers in the business. Despite a childhood filled with poverty and abuse, Tyler managed to channel his painful past into writing plays, which eventually led to the big screen.
Hallelujah!
His signature role as Madea, the wisecracking, gun-toting granny, has earned him repeated success at the box office, with such hits as Diary of a Mad Black Woman and Madea Goes to Jail. Not only is he the first African-American man to own a major film and TV studio, but his personal triumph has inspired thousands to rise above their own painful circumstances. His new movie, Madea's Big Happy Family, opens this Friday.
So happy that you're here. This is the first time on the show. And
finally.
Yeah, I don't know what took so long, but come back anytime you want.
Really?
Don't you live right down the street?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll be here every day with donuts and coffee.
I would like it.
Is that okay? Okay,
I would like it.
Good.
I don't mind that at all. And as we saw in that clip just now, you really have had an amazing life. I mean, a really hard life. A lot of people have tough things. You've had tough things. And what do you think it was that... and I know you've talked about this before, but just that drove you to say, I can get those tapes out of my head that were, you know, pushed into me over and over again, that I'm not good enough. What was it in you that said, I'm going to rise above this?
Yeah, well, for me, it's my God voice, you know, just by the grace of God, because coming from what I came from and what I came through, I needed to have... there is no other explanation. I wish there was one. You know,
right.
You're from New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. Great backdrop, great place to grow up. But there was a lot of things that happened then. But it had to be that God voice telling me that you are better than this. You can rise above this. You are not what they are saying you are. You know, family, friends, or whatever. And I did.
And where was the
And you know, I say that to anybody. I say that to anyone who's going through and people are telling you what you're not or what you can't be. You can be anything you want, especially kids. You can be anything you want to be, no matter what anybody says, even if it is your mother or father. You can be whatever you want to be. And that is the greatest lesson I've learned in this life.
What do you think the toughest thing was for you? I mean, I can imagine what it was, but what was the toughest thing for you as a kid?
Well, there were several things, but I think the barrage of insults, you know, from my father had to be the toughest thing, because the most difficult thing for me growing up was if your father doesn't love you, this is what I'm thinking, if your father doesn't love you, then how can anybody else love you? But what I've since found out then, sitting here at 41, is that he did what he knew how to do. He did the best that he could do. And we all have these things in life that we go through, and it's how you handle them and what you do with them. And I chose to, and I learned to use everything that had happened to me for my good. I put it in my films, I put it in work, I put it in inspiring and encouraging other people. So that's where my life is right now.
Did you start writing young when you were to get this?
No, first time I ever wrote anything, I was like 19 years old.
Really?
18, 19 years old, yeah. I was watching an Oprah show, and no, really. 18-year-old watching the Oprah show, I really was. And she said it was cathartic to write things down, so I started writing, and that's my first play was born out of those journals.
So before that, because I think a lot of people that go through hard experiences escape either in fantasy, they kind of go out someplace else to get away from that, or they write. But you didn't write, you didn't escape that way.
I didn't know that I had a gift to write because I didn't know that I was escaping in my imagination. I didn't know at the time when I was going through all the things that I was going through that in my mind I could go to a better place. And what is so fantastic about that is the place I live now is where I would go. This place of peace that I'm in now at this age is where I would go when I was a child, just believing that there is a better place for me to go to. And I would go in my head for a long time. And that is the place I go to right now. You know, I sit in a space, this sounds really crazy, but I sit in a space and I you know, go inside of myself to hear these characters and hear their voices and see what they're saying.
No, that doesn't sound crazy. It sounds like, I mean, do you meditate or do you, because when I sit, I meditate. And when I sit, I get lots of ideas. That's where my stuff comes from, when I sit and meditate.
Let me tell you what's crazy about it, because you're sitting, I'm having a moment, and I'm thinking, okay, this is great. Then I hear, what the hell wrong with you? You know, that voice just comes out, you know? So that's what's crazy about it, you know, trying to have a peaceful moment, trying to write something, and then there she is, showing up. Yeah, yeah.
She talks about orange juice.
Yes, orange juice, orange juice. What you know about orange juice?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Thank you,
thank you. The character is just hilarious, the voices. And is that somebody specific that, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want to, because I want to finish this for people, because I know there are people out there, and that's what I hope this show is that, you know, if anything, is to be examples of you can get through no matter what you're going through. And I agree, I've heard this about you, you don't regret, and you appreciate the stuff you went through.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this is what a lot of times in life, what happens to a lot of people is, you know, we get bogged down in what has happened to us and we can't get past it. But I believe that all things can work together for your good. You know, you have to understand why was I born to this father or this mother? Why was I born into this situation? And you take all of the negativity of it, take everything that tried to destroy you and beat you down, and turn it around and use it. It's still energy. You have to take that same energy and put it into something positive. And that is what has happened for me. And you know, I thank God for it every day.
Yeah. Well, it sure works for you. We're lucky for it. We're lucky to have you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the newest movie with Madea. We'll be back.
Madea.
I have a character that I've worked on and developed, and I haven't really fleshed it out completely.
Give me her voice, so let me hear something. Just give me just one word.
She talks real loud!
Okay, love it, love
it. SeaGapes Fine Wine and Food Festival is back at your...
What he's done. Do you understand? Do you understand what the hell I am saying to you? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I understand.
Let me tell you something. If you are not there, every house you get ready... No, don't look at them. Don't look at them. Every house you get ready to say, I will be in the front window like this.
That's Tyler Perry as Madea. Madea's Big Happy Family is this one, right?
Yeah.
Now, and how many takes do you have to do before someone doesn't laugh in your face?
Oh, no, we have to do quite a few, because I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, because it's so funny to me. First of all, I'm directing, and a lot of times when I'm directing those scenes, I have the costumes on.
Right.
So I'm saying, all right, get somewhere and sit down. And then I say, okay, now I need y'all to move over here and get this out of the way. So everybody's looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy?
Because you're directing with
in
those
the costume.
Breasts that are,
down to her knees.
Exactly.
Down to her knees, yes.
And I love when you're at the drive-thru and how you keep enunciating for the orange juice and how long it takes you to make that order. It's hilarious. And so when you do you just go off? I mean, you obviously write it, but then when you're in the middle of the scene, you work with people that are happy just kind of going off book?
Yeah, and I encourage it, because I think a lot of the best moments happen just spontaneously, like watching your audience dance backstage. I mean, that is just great to see. Everybody just having a good time.
Right.
So that's how it feels on the set. We're just having fun, and I don't know what Madea's going to say sometimes. I really don't.
It's hilarious. It really is. That must be so much fun for you. Do you just want to play her all the time?
No.
No?
No. No. You know what? I love seeing the movie when it's done, and I love the joy that it brings to people, because it's uplifting, it's encouraging, it's great messages, it makes people laugh. But no, I don't. Because the costume is hell.
Yeah, I bet.
It's hot.
How long does it take you to get into that?
It's about a 4-hour process for that. It's pretty hot. The wig is hot, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and then you've got to do. You're doing pre-production, you're directing, you're doing the movie, you're acting, and then you do post-production.
Yeah.
So that is like, how do you have time to do anything at all? That's all you're doing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. and sitting here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Sitting here with you.
All right, listen. I just think you're so wildly talented, and I would love to do something with you. I have a character that I've worked on and developed, and I haven't really fleshed completely, but I have an idea.
Are you serious?
I have, yeah, and I've done most of the work. I have the movie poster. I just don't have the script.
Okay.
So let me show you the poster and see if that inspires you at all.
Okay, let's see it.
Let's bring it out. It's sisters from a different mister. We got Dame Judi Dench and Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all I have so far.
Okay.
All right. So if
We're off to a good start.
Okay, good.
We're off to a really good
All right.
start.
This will inspire you. You'll have the voice in your head,
Yes.
and we'll work together.
Give me her
Right.
voice. So let me hear something. Let me give me just one word.
She talks real loud.
Okay, love it, love it, love it,
She
love it.
talks real loud. What? I can't hear you. Like that.
Okay.
That's all I have
I
worked
got
out
a whole
so far.
movie. I love it.
I can't hear you. All right. Medea's Big Happy Family is in theaters Friday. We'll be back. Tyler Perry.
We're trying to turn